In 1995, Travis Fulgham was born in Alexandria, Virginia. Throughout the rest of his childhood, he would move from country to country, starting in 1996 because of his parents' jobs for the United States Agency for International Development. In 1996, Travis and his family moved to Jordan while he was just 6 months old. They stayed there until 1998 when he would move to Cairo, Egypt, where he would stay until 2002. And in 2002, they would go to Pretoria, South Africa, until 2004. And in 2004, they would move back to Jordan. And finally, in 2007, they would move to India in New Delhi. And in 2011, they would finally, to allow Travis to have a normal high school experience, would move back to the United States in Virginia. And he would attend Broad Run High School in Virginia. Fun fact, Travis would become the first NFL player to ever come out of Broad Run High School, and still to this day is the only one there. Travis ended up playing 2 years of high school football, but he only recorded stats in his senior season, where he would put up 23 catches, 509 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And in 2015, that was not a concern of his. He enrolled at Old Dominion, not thinking about football, but ended up walking onto the team and making the team as well. He was perfect for playing wide receiver. He was a big, lanky 6'3", and had good ball skills. He would have earned himself a scholarship by September of that year, and in his first season on the team, he would record 6 catches for 89 yards. In 2016, Travis would see a much increased role, playing 12 games rather than the only 4 that he appeared in the previous season, and he would catch 29 passes, 478 yards, and 8 touchdowns, and appear in the Bahamas Bowl versus Eastern Michigan, and he caught 1 pass for 31 yards and a touchdown in this game. And then in 2017, Travis would play another steady season of 30 catches for 394 yards and a touchdown. And in 2018, his senior season, he saw a very increased role in the offense, making 63 catches and making it just over 1,000 yards with 1,083 and a career-high 9 touchdowns, and he would make second-team All-Conference USA in 2018. And in 2019, Travis would enter the NFL draft, and at the combine, he would record some unimpressive stats, unfortunately for him, including a 4.58 40-yard dash and 15 reps on the bench press. But his scouting report says that his tall 6'3" frame and very good ball skills would make him a prospect at the next level, even though he is not extremely fast when it comes to coming out of routes or just in general as a wide receiver. And this was enough to get him drafted in the 6th round, 184th overall by the Detroit Lions. And he appeared in 3 games, receiving 3 targets in the following season, but was unable to make a catch in any of his appearances or on any of his targets. And in September, he was waived and later cut, but was added to the practice squad and was elevated to the Lions roster again in December. But after maintaining his roster spot, he would end up going back down, being waived again in August. He was picked up by the Green Bay Packers. And once again, he would be waived just 9 days later. And from here, it looked very grim for a young Travis's career. Looks like he had missed his opportunity to make an impact in the league. But the Eagles, being very low on any players on their depth chart due to much injury, would claim him off waivers the next day, and he would be cut in September, but in October they would sign him to the active roster, and just the next day he would appear in a 49ers-Eagles game on Sunday Night Football, and Travis would make a game-winning touchdown catch, or a go-ahead touchdown catch, to put the Eagles up 18-14 in a game that they would end up going on to win 25-20. And he would have another 15-yard catch the next game, and finishing with 2 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. He would follow this game up with a 10-catch, 152-yard performance against Pittsburgh, which is a very good defense, just the next week. And the playing time for some reason, it would just drop off. After that, he had an unbelievable, after all of this performance, including another 70-yard game in each of the next 3 games, he just couldn't get back on the field. And even though he might have been the most productive Eagles receiver in most productive 5-game stretch since Terrell Owens, Hall of Famer Terrell Owens, mind you, he would be replaced by Alshon Jeffrey when he returned from an injury. Also, a Travis Fulgham injury would sideline him, and Alshon Jeffrey would put up poor numbers, including 6 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown down the remaining stretch, while Travis would only record 9 catches for 104 yards and no touchdowns in this period of time. Even through all this, Travis Fulgham would still lead the team in receiving yards at the end of the season, pretty much entirely off of a 5-game stretch. And he would see decreased snaps, most likely because Doug Peterson was not wanting to play him. He would have a lot of issues that season, Coach Doug Peterson, with playing players who may have been lower talent or just not ready to play a little more often than he should play them, and not playing his more talented players. And he would be fired after the season due to poor performance and questionable decisions like such. And there was rumors that he was struggling to adjust to other defenses, and he wasn't working the hardest in practice. And it would be a disappointing end to the season for Travis Fulgham, but it seemed like he had a light going into next season as another receiver on the team. But unfortunately, in 2021, Travis Fulgham would be cut by the Eagles in training camp, even after earning himself a second contract, because of his poor practice habits. And they say they gave him a fair shot, but he didn't take advantage of it like some of the other receivers that may have been at the bottom of the depth chart, like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, might have. He didn't employ good work ethic. He just seemed like he knew he was going to make the roster, but he wasn't safe, so he got cut. And he would eventually be signed to the Dolphins practice squad, and then later signed to the Broncos practice squad. And they would pick him up, add him to the active roster, and he would play against the Chargers in Week 16 earlier this season, but was unlikely and was unable to record any stats. He did not have any receptions, but this is the story of a long, hard road to the NFL and how much it really takes to get and keep a job, even if you may record very good stats for 5 weeks in a row. You might be the best receiver on your team, in your conference, top however many receiver in the league. That still might not be enough to keep your job in the NFL, and you always need to be working to get better. And he went from a starter to a bench warmer after being a bench warmer before being a starter. So this is just the story of a journey to the NFL, and personally, I believe that Travis Fulgham still has it in him, and that once he gets the opportunity, he will thrive. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.